If you're running a business, or maybe just trying to stay competitive yourself in the labor market, how do you even begin to anticipate the future workforce? I mean, we're not talking about filling a role next month. We're talking about knowing the exact talent you'll need, say, a whole year from now. Is it just throwing darts in the dark, hoping you hit a target that seems to be constantly moving? Or is there actually a way to get some genuine foresight? Okay, let's unpack this. Today, our mission for this deep dive is to explore the reality of that foresight. Specifically, how AI-powered predictive analytics is, well, fundamentally changing the staffing industry by accurately forecasting talent needs. We're going deep into the algorithms that are making human resource planning start to look almost like financial market analysis. And for you, our learner, the goal is simple. Give you a shortcut to understanding the complex mechanics behind this whole shift. We want you to really grasp how AI minimizes those hiring gaps, improves efficiency, and maybe most importantly, provides actionable intelligence in what's still a very dynamic, often, let's face it, chaotic labor market.
Oh, chaotic is definitely the word. And that's exactly why this technology feels so, well, revolutionary. For decades, staffing was almost entirely reactive, wasn't it? Just a series of fire drills. Now, really for the first time, we're moving past just educated guesswork to true data-driven foresight. It fundamentally changes how workforce supply actually meets market demand.
Right, that's the core concept we need to nail down straight away. AI is letting companies align their workforce supply, who they have, who they're going to need, where they might find them with market demand. It's like a massive matching engine, sure, but it's using historical data and current trends to predict future states. It sounds genuinely revolutionary for resource allocation.
It is, and the models doing this, they're far more complex than, say, simple regressions. When we talk about the AI models that staffing firms are leveraging, we mean sophisticated machine learning algorithms, and these are often layered with quite specialized analysis techniques.
Can you maybe define what kind of specialized analysis we're talking about? Because, for most people, machine learning sounds like this big catch-all term. What's the specific engine letting them see a year ahead?
A key part is the inclusion of things like time series analysis. Basically, if you're wondering what that means conversationally, it's about training the AI to look specifically at how data points change over time. It identifies patterns related to time, things humans kind of intuitively grasp, but AI can quantify. Think seasonal hiring spikes, annual budget cycles, maybe even the labor impact of specific product launches. That understanding of temporal dynamics, the rhythm of things, that's really the backbone of this transformation.
Okay, so it's not just a snapshot of right now. It's recognizing the market's cadence and projecting that rhythm forward. And the key output from that sophisticated backbone is pretty stunning. The ability to anticipate specific skill shortages up to, 12 months in advance?
Exactly. That 12-month window is kind of the gold standard people are aiming for right now. It means a staffing firm could potentially say, with some confidence, that specific, highly specialized tech roles, maybe full-stack developers fluent in some brand new framework, or certain healthcare providers will likely be scarce in the middle of Q3 next year.
I have to push back just a little on that 12-month prediction.
Yeah.
I mean, in a labor market that can shift so dramatically based on, I don't know, one big company announcing layoffs or new government policy,
Yeah.
how reliable is that year-long view? Doesn't AI risk just predicting yesterday's reality, extrapolate it out?
That's a critical question, absolutely. And that's precisely why the predictive models have to be adaptive. The reliance isn't on some fixed, static forecast. The model is constantly recalculating, folding in fresh, real-time data inputs, think new job postings, immediate economic indicators. So that 12-month window, it's the strategic planning guide, sure, but the data fueling it is updating daily, even hourly sometimes. This shifts the whole strategy. It moves away from that reactive, short-term scramble towards a genuinely proactive, long-term talent pipeline strategy.
That's actually a great bridge because prediction is only ever as robust as the information feeding it, right?
Yeah.
So when you talk about continuously recalculating, what specific ingredients are these advanced AI models mixing together to see so far ahead? It must be just an overwhelming amount of data.
It is overwhelming, and honestly, that's kind of the point. The thoroughness here is what drives the accuracy. These models have to process incredibly diverse, often seemingly unrelated inputs all at the same time. That's something human analysis alone really struggles with. We can probably break it down into, say, 4 critical categories they pull from. First, the obvious one, external labor market data. That means current job postings, what skills are employers asking for right now globally. Second, and this is crucial, the internal data. Things like employee turnover rates within the company, historical performance data. This helps predict future internal gaps before positions even become officially vacant.
Okay, so that's market behavior and internal company behavior.
Yeah.
What gives it the bigger picture context, the macroeconomic view?
Right, that's category 3, the macro view. Things like industry growth projections. If, say, the clean energy sector is projected to expand by 8% next year, the AI immediately adjusts the needed workforce growth in parallel for related roles. And finally, category 4, the models fold in broader, often more volatile context stuff like economic indicators, is the overall market contracting. Are interest rates spiking? These broad strokes inform things like the urgency and maybe even the compensation levels needed for those future hires. What's fascinating here is that the AI doesn't just look at those 4 data types in isolation. I mean, a human analyst might look at high internal turnover or they might look at rising inflation. But the AI is cross-referencing them constantly. For instance, connecting high turnover in a specific tech role today with a predicted industry expansion in the same geographical area based on future economic indicators. That specific connection is what lets the system more accurately predict the skills crunch a year from now. That kind of synergistic data management, it's just far beyond what we can typically manage manually.
So you're essentially saying the real predictive power comes from creating these causal links between data points that we might otherwise treat as separate silos. It's turning all that disparate noise into a single, clearer signal about future talent scarcity. And that deep integration is what allows us to shift directly to the tangible business benefits, isn't it? Because this tech isn't just about interesting research papers. It translates directly to efficiency, quality, and, let's be honest, the bottom line. It feels like it's rapidly becoming an operational necessity. Let's start with speed. Because staffing firms can recruit proactively, they know they'll likely need a dozen Java developers in 6 months. Not right this second, they can start sourcing and vetting much earlier. Our sources are showing a significant measurable reduction in time to hire. Firms using this are seeing hiring times shrink by a verifiable 20%.
20% is huge, especially when you consider the opportunity cost of having a key senior role sit empty for weeks or months. And that speed gain, it directly impacts the other really powerful metric, cost efficiency.
Okay, how does that cost saving actually materialize? Is it just avoiding, like, endless job ad spending?
It's really 2 main things. First, it helps prevent the expense of overstaffing, hiring people just in case, which is a drain on payroll. But maybe more significantly, it helps avoid what we often call panic hiring. Think about the classic scenario. A critical role opens up unexpectedly. The company's desperate. They end up paying a recruiter a massive premium fee, or maybe worse, they hire some high-cost consultant at, say, $500 an hour just to keep things running for 3 months. By avoiding those kinds of emergency measures, companies are realizing savings of up to 15% in overall labor costs. That 15% saving comes directly from better, calmer, predictive planning instead of that desperate, costly reaction mode.
And beyond just speed and cost, let's touch on the quality benefit of skill matching. In these really dynamic labor markets, competitive advantage often hinges on having the best, most niche talent, right? How does AI help there?
Well, the AI excels because it's not just searching for a generic engineer. It can identify the exact niche combination of skills needed based on analyzing industry trends and future project needs. And crucially, it does this before the wider market even fully realizes those niche skills are about to become super hot or in high demand. By identifying the skills likely to be scarce in 12 months, companies can either start training existing staff or get a head start sourcing that precise candidate early. This ensures a dramatically better candidate job match down the line. That superior alignment, that's how companies gain a genuine competitive edge. And, if we connect this to the bigger picture, the technology's influence really extends well beyond just optimizing one company's budget. We could be talking about a mechanism that might significantly tackle systemic labor challenges on a global scale.
Systemic challenges globally. Wow, that sounds like a massive claim. What does that actually look like in practice? How could it work?
Well, consider this forward-looking projection. There's a 2025 report suggesting that AI-driven forecasting has the potential to help alleviate something like 30% of global talent shortages by the year 2027. That number, 30%, that should be a real aha moment for everyone listening, frankly, regardless of your specific role or industry. This implies AI isn't just optimizing staffing for individual companies, it's potentially stabilizing entire economies by predicting critical skill gaps years in advance. That allows training programs, educational institutions, and recruiting efforts to become much more focused and effective.
That is a genuinely staggering potential impact, moving from what might seem like a niche B2B technology to potentially a societal tool.
Right.
And we're already seeing some localized benefits too, right? Staffing agencies that jumped on this predictive tech early, they aren't just seeing higher placement rates, they're also reporting marked improvements in client satisfaction and, critically, client retention as well.
That's absolutely right. Clients naturally trust the firms that consistently seem to anticipate their needs and deliver the right talent faster and ideally cheaper. It really transforms the relationship, moving it from being purely transactional to more of a strategic partnership.
Looking ahead then, the trajectory seems pretty clear. This technology is only going to get better, more refined. As AI integrates even further with broader workforce analytics, maybe pulling in even more comprehensive economic forecasting models, meaning the data inputs get wider and deeper, those predictions, already reaching out a year, they're just going to become even sharper, even more precise.
Absolutely. This ongoing evolution promises a much more agile, much more robust staffing industry overall, one that isn't just constantly reacting to cyclical ups and downs, but is fundamentally structured to meet future demands head on. The entire rhythm of human resource planning is changing, isn't it? It's moving from backward looking historical reviews to continuous forward looking predictive strategy.
So what does this all mean? I think the core takeaway here is that AI is starting to take the guesswork out of staffing. It takes these vast, complex streams of information, everything from employee exit interviews to global market indicators, and distills it into an actionable, maybe 12-month staffing plan. And that plan saves significant time, it saves potentially massive amounts of money, and maybe most importantly, it finds better, more specialized talent.
Exactly. And since we know that AI is projected to potentially alleviate 30% of global talent shortages by 2027, just by predicting where the gaps will be, this raises a really interesting final question for you to consider as you finish this deep dive. If AI truly provides this level of complete, what are the ultimate implications? Which niche skills might AI predict will actually vanish, entirely become obsolete, rather than just being in short supply? Think about that level of predictive power.
That is a truly provocative thought. Imagine the strategic advantage of knowing not just what skills to hire for, but maybe what skills not to worry about investing in at all. Thanks for taking this deep dive with us today, and keep exploring.